it off. Uh, yeah. Welcome again, everyone, to the uh official, because most of us here are sponsored, Royal Crown NA podcast. On the panel tonight, we have Marshed, Super Future, and Inked. And we also have another gentleman who I actually want to congratulate on being our newest member for our mod team, Bike Kicker.
Congrats, Bike.
Congratulations, Bike. How is everyone doing tonight?
Fantastic. How are you guys doing?
Bro, I got to kick someone's ass. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Ain't no endorphin rush like that.
Yeah, no, I'm running right now. But with that being said, we can go ahead and start kicking off the topic list. Feel free, if anyone is in chat and you have questions about something in particular, don't hesitate to post those questions in chat. And if you had specific topics that are not on the topic list, hold those until the end of the podcast, as we usually take extra topics from chat. So first, I'm gonna let Super take the lead on this one. Just because he did make this stuff, and I'll kind of fill where I feel as though it needs to be filled. So, Super, if you would.
Sure. We're gonna start it off, guys, with just talk about the state of the crown, state of the royal crown, how people feel about it. I just hope everybody's not burnt out. A lot of work behind the scenes, us mods, but I hope players coming in aren't burnt out or discouraged as well playing the game. We do have new people coming in every single day. Right? We want to welcome the new to the community, content creators as well. Yeah, we're doing whatever we can to help keep people stay. Meerkat is doing the best right now, and we all have to acknowledge that, right?
Mhm.
Acknowledge that. At a place right now where the game doesn't have certain things in place to keep. Talk about that. So first thing we're gonna talk about is the basics, right? Server instability. So like we mentioned that last podcast. Some people said hey, blah blah blah, but once you start playing squads and having lag spikes and stuff like that, it sucks. That's like a basic any have. So yeah, you guys want to talk about server?
I guess I'll start us off. Y'all know my experience. I've been very vivid as to what my experience has been in terms of connectivity with the NA server specifically. They're shit. It's absolute dog shit. I know for a fact that the server itself is somewhere on the East Coast. As per when I was streaming from the Detroit area, I had roughly like 20-ish ping, but I am now in Washington State, and I'm barely able to stay underneath 100 ping. And there have been many people coming into my stream like, hey, wait, aren't you in North America? Why are you pinging out so much? Mm-hmm. That's a good question. That's a very good question. This should definitely not be a case. And I want them to really start taking this seriously. And I would like a little bit more information as to what type of servers they are using right now, and if it's possible to upgrade these servers, because obviously it's very hard to have, a competitive anything if your ping is garbage, right? So it definitely needs to be addressed. I'll let someone else takes. I don't want to take everyone else's opinions on that, but that's been my experience so far.
Else?
Well, I mean, since I just played in the EU Scrim night, I don't remember ever really having packet loss when I was playing on EU, because my ping is actually fine. It's like 90, like steady 90 on EU. So I mean, I used to play in League with a steady 90 ping when they had their servers wherever they used to be, and it used to be fine, like no lagging. And now, when I was playing in the scrim night, I was just lagging out randomly during fights. Like it would actually just like stop moving for 5 seconds completely. So it's actually really unplayable. And like I don't know if that's just EU now for me, or if that's just what the servers are like in general. Right. But it's pretty shit.
Okay, by kicker, how about you?
For me on NA, it's like okay until that like final circle when everybody starts ultimating, and then it's like, oh shit. Well, I hope what happened was right. But it seems like if you're within like a certain ping, it's okay, and then anybody outside of that just gets absolutely reamed. Like I've been playing with a range lately, and it's like unplayable for him because of just how bad every fight he just ping spikes and can't see shit.
Can confirm a range is actually relatively close to where I live as well, and he's on Wi-Fi. So if I'm pinging on Ethernet, I know for a fact he's pinging on Wi-Fi. Ink, how about you?
I really don't run into any issues with ping. That's just me personally. I live in Chicago, or just outside of it. Maybe intermittently, very, very briefly, but there's no specific instances I can nail down where I have bad lag issues.
Okay, super.
Go ahead, Ink.
Sorry, yeah, just real quick to note, as far as what I'm dealing with, I just have Ethernet, really high tier internet that provides, everything I need. So it's not like I'm dealing with Wi-Fi or any special situation. It's just an Ethernet cable into my PC.
Ink, have you played a lot of squads? At any of the final circle? Lag issue?
Only on EA or EU, not in NA though.
Okay. Good. It's not the same for everyone, but it's not just happening in NA. Happening. It is an issue. This is a basic one of the points to cover. Like there's a lot of loose ends right now. Fixed. And I just wish they would announce it better. Like yeah, we are able to read it in words, like all that talk is in. Need to be more engaging. That's a huge thing for players coming in. That's a big red flag. The game could fail. Just huge.
So,
do you guys agree?
Yeah, I 100% agree. And actually, this is a perfect pivot point to one of the topics that I did want to kind of fit in here, even though it is partially covered on this next point, which would be the low population. So not too long ago, I had a reiteration post from something Super said, and I kind of went into a vivid explanation, which I had most of you react to said post about marketing for this game, right? To which afterwards, Dev Meerkat essentially said, in a little bit of a summarized version, that the dev team is just essentially passing this feedback off to the marketing team. And then I commented again with how do we actually get in contact with the marketing team directly so we can essentially cut out the middleman, right? And Dev Meerkat came back and said that they don't have direct contact with the marketing team. So the first thing in my brain is like, well, then where the fuck is this feedback going, right? And in that same message, they said you might want to try to hit up the CMs, which then confirmed to me that the CMs are actually Line Games employees, and then the dev chat are Meerkat employees that are responding to things related to in the game. Now that made me a little wary because we've been complaining about this and trying to get a hold of, the marketing team and just Line Games as a whole for quite some time now. And this entire time that I've been trying to reach out to Dev Meerkat, I could have been redirecting that energy to the CMs instead, because those are the ones that we actually ultimately need to get a hold of to, actually have some effectiveness to the feedback that we're trying to give. Now, with the lack of population this is only due to the fact that they have not ran an advertisement campaign yet to any degree. I've got confirmation from people that play in EA as well as SEA. We'll just, instead of separating those two, we'll just say Asia as a whole, right? Because I'm not sure why they separate it like that, but it's basically all of Asia has had their own little advertisement that they have done locally through their own revenues and whatnot, but it just has not touched the other regions. And until they start doing something, which we've covered on previous podcasts, whether that be social media presence, an actual advertisement campaign via Google Ads, or ads being run through Facebook ads or YouTube ads, the population is only going to have a trickle effect, right? Based solely off of what we're doing as a community and essentially creating hype for people to see, right? So Line Games, if we can get in direct contact with your marketing team, the stuff we are telling you, like, I promise you, it will help the game exponentially. I understand that you are a Korean-based company, but you have to take into account that in other regions, you cannot do the same things as you would in your hometown. It would be easy for me to make $2,000 selling the shit that I own in Detroit because I know everybody. I know how shit moves over there. But if I try that shit out in Houston, it's different. Right? Everything is different. Like, society is ran differently. You know, how news is passed around is different. Everything is different. So I would very much like to see, just like Super said, more communication from the actual Line Games employees on the things that the developers cannot answer in dev chat.
Just to segue on that. It might be a translation. Based on our interaction with content the guy George. The Asian players got their badges and stuff really quick because it was already in.
Yep.
Translating all that stuff to English probably took a lot. And even though we have this podcast right now, we don't have a way to translate this podcast.
Right.
To so that can also be an issue. Like this podcast we're doing right now might not even help. That's something we also need.
Yep.
Get this. Fans.
Right. And that being said, I also, have reiterated this on stream as well as previous podcasts and to you, individually, most likely at some point. I have zero issue if that's the case, Super, right? If translation is an issue, I have zero issue paying Marst's girlfriend $75 to type up something in Korean, literally summarizing everything that we're talking about, right? As long as we have a point of avenue to have direct access to these specific teams, right? Like we can easily do that. It's just a matter of getting that message across, right?
Let's do that. I'm actually gonna do that. Like March, if your girlfriend. Yeah, she's gonna have to listen to our podcast and our rambling for a little bit. But if she can just like this podcast, I find it's because we're in a place we're just theme parks where we were last year. It's a kind of a dangerous place.
Yeah.
This podcast is really important. Yeah. Voice out. That's our voice.
Right.
Yeah. Let's do that. I'll put up money. Done. Right? She doesn't mind. If she doesn't mind to do. If not, this is to everybody who's listening. If any Korean people on that, I would love to help out. Be here, got the money, we'll pay you. Right? Type this out. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
I can really quick. I can talk to her tonight. She's just at work right now, so
cool.
Okay,
Appreciate
I
it.
appreciate that.
Physically here, no problem.
Cool. Same thing is done. Okay, so next, low population. I don't know if you guys have played East Asia. I do recommend go. Haven't tried. The 30-man lobbies there are fire.
Yep.
Right. I know new players don't like getting bopped.
Right. Yeah.
by the OG players here. That's just due to low population. Since it's very low populated right now, even if we want to play, we're not getting rewarded for any of that. There's no incentive for even our top players to stay.
Yeah.
Right? We can't grind the ranks because the point system is optimized for full lobbies.
True.
Optimized for full lobbies. So that's why second place, third place, fifth place is getting like negative. They're very optimized for full. And the new players also get discouraged because they're getting in the game with the same 10 people and getting destroyed every time. Really no reward. Like, we're getting all these diamonds, yeah, woo woo, you know, whatever. Like, cosmetics, I love it. Keep doing it. But this is also part of the basics, necessities that we need as players, right, to keep the game alive. Right, one is the server instability. Server stability needs to be on point, and second is you gotta reward players for grinding.
Right.
Want to play? Figure out a way to do that. That kind of segues into next topic. But what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Being that I've already expressed mine, we can toss it to someone else. Marsh, like.
I don't. You can speak, like.
Oh, like the population issue, like Super said, I'm in the belief that like there's only like 2, maybe 3 weeks to kind of get something going, a wave wise. Otherwise, this is gonna start hurting. Like the Royals League might help a bit. I looked at signups to see how many numbers, but at the end of the day, like it's about the day-to-day experience and not like the custom lobbies and the events here and there. Like the day-to-day experience is kind of painful. Newer players show up, they don't know how to build. There's not really a good tutorial on how to run routes and path, and they just kind of get waxed. And it's just like, why the fuck would I spend my time doing this? And so I think you're gonna get some trickle in, some trickle out, and like there's really like 2 to 3 weeks to kind of get a surge. Otherwise, like we're gonna be back where we were.
I agree. Marsh?
I definitely agree with that, and I think because of that, the low population issue, everything begins to suffer because of it. Like content creators, like there's only so much we can do with smaller sized lobbies, so much content we can put out there. Like no one's gonna enjoy watching a person go around killing 3 new players. You know what I'm saying? Like if I want to make a guide on Violet and I go in early in the afternoon or whatever, I know I have to plan around like playing in the nighttime, but the lobbies are still going to be like less than 10 people or whatever, right? And no one really enjoys watching that, especially when it's newer players that are just checking out the game and stuff. Like I want a full lobby when I do my guides, and I tried to go on East Asia, but I can't. My ping is too high, and the ping issue is just another thing altogether. Like how can you be in NA and have ping issues in NA? It doesn't make sense. Like the server has to be way more localized so people in Canada can fucking play, because people in Canada should be able to play in North America. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
So I don't know. They got to fix all that, because honestly, everyone is having a bad time right now. Old players, new players, content creators. We need to step it up and advertise. Get the lobbies popping, get the servers fixed, and everything will be okay.
I agree. Ain't?
Yeah, player retention is obviously super important. We could preach that all day. But one of the big things I'd like to see implemented actually to improve it, as far as the experience right now, is implementing longer queue times. And maybe even having some kind of indicator, because they know how many people are in a game when you go into it. Have an indicator prior to that, so that you can see how many people are queuing for specific modes.
Backpacking off of that, confirm if this is correct or not, 'cause some of you actually play it. Apex does this. Apex Legends does something like that. It tells you how many people are ready to be queued into the next lobby.
Is this Apex, but Rocket League does a similar thing.
Not necessarily. Like Rocket League will tell
It
you
tells
when it
you how many
finds a
people are
server.
in the queue. Like,
in the queue, yeah.
True. Okay, yeah. Okay, so either Rocket League or legitimately like Apex does, if I'm pretty sure. It literally tells you, okay, like we have 29 people out of 50. We're still trying to queue for this lobby type thing.
Rather than have it be, I'm queuing randomly, hoping I get a good
Right.
lobby. If I saw that there were only 2 people queued currently, but there's 18 people in queue, I would know. All right, I'm just gonna wait a few minutes and then I'll queue up because all those people that are in game are gonna finish, so I can get in a big game.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And with that, they've attempted something like this. If I'm not mistaken, back in like preseason 0 to preseason 2, they attempted to alter matchmaking, and it was a fucking disaster.
Yep.
So I'm not sure if that's what like they were trying to lean towards to do, but they just missed the mark, or if they just reduced the queue time before it just like, okay, we need 5-6 people. Okay, send that one off and then go to the next one. Like, they need to fix this shit too, because there are people playing this game. For the last 2 weeks, we have had 10 to 15 people joining this Discord. We have doubled our member count in this community. People want to play this game. It is very apparent, but they are just allowing this stigma to essentially slowly take over post-launch, which doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. And if we have a low population, I feel that like the server modes, the type of game modes, there should only be one. And I would honestly lean towards squads, because that's what keeps people engaged. Like, if they queue in and meet random people, they're gonna have a fun time, or they might not, right? But there's a high likely chance that they're gonna make friends and actually want to keep playing together. So that engages people more. And I would much rather have a full squad lobby than a solo lobby, honestly, because the game's designed around squads anyway. So, and I would much rather just have one mode, because like, why have people playing solos when we can have squads, or vice versa,
Yeah, splitting community is like hard when there's already a thin community. Also, the rotating game mode is like a death sentence right now for squads. I like NA cannot support the duo thing. It's got to be one or the other, and one of them has to be there 24/7. Otherwise, solos is always going to be the mode of choice, just because it's always there. Like last night, Arrange and Keys and I got out of Fall Guys, and we were like, "Yo, we'll just play some RC." We log on, and Squads isn't available, and then it's like, "Oh well, we're not going to play RC." So like, you just lost players right there because Squads isn't around.
Yeah.
One of those has to stay. So I agree with Marsh there. Like, you can't keep splitting the population.
And it's not like people can't randomly queue into squads. They do it in other games, like Dota, League. You randomly queue into a team, so it's fine. Like, I don't know, they should do that.
Okay. These are good. These are great ideas. Anybody in the chat, you guys have any ideas to help bring players together, to congregate players? I guess that's the word we're looking for. Also reward players. I really like this idea. Go out. Other could, but like Volpes, is that how you say it? Volpes? It may be a risk, but yeah, they should take it. It does show.
We need something, because without this allows individuals to draw the conclusion that this game is quote unquote dead.
Yep.
That's being tossed around loosely, like, oh, no one's playing squads. I mean, there could be 12 people in queue, but they're just getting into 2 separate lobbies, but they would never know, right?
The 2 separate lobbies thing is unreasonable. Like,
It's absolutely
like 12
unreasonable.
people, and it just caps. Or we could queue like 18 at the same time, and it'll split you 9 and 9, and it's just like the biggest just deflator I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I
agree.
They need to optimize the funnel somehow to. I would love to hear more about what they have planned. Right, whatever they say in dev work, kind of. I can't really believe. They actually say in dev words. They actually say in dev words that they are. We will see this patch. Okay, right?
Yeah, you gotta wait. Like, we could type whatever.
That's the case. I don't even care about the new champion right now.
I do.
Like, it's for some people, yeah. But, like, I don't even care about that. I'd rather have a functional...
Yeah.
Right.
But, like...
Sorry,
a lot of this is, like, things Meerkat or Line Games can do, which obviously we want to talk about on the podcast. As a community, like, the only thing I think that can really help here is we have to streamline people that join the Discord. If you join the Discord and you're playing and you're getting waxed by, like, you know, the same few names, ask these people on the panel right now. All of us will help. We have to figure out a way to get new players to understand building, understand paths, so they're not all blue in the final circle running into some red Zasha who just spins on them for their entire health bar. Like, we have to be the tutorial that the game does not provide.
Sure. Yeah.
We should ask Zasha to nerf himself and not play Cork for the next few weeks. It's like, Zasha, don't play Cork. He'll probably still win. That good.
Yeah,
but just don't play Cork.
Mechanically god. Yeah.
This is another reason why I think squads is the mode to, like, keep open mainly and prioritize, because you can funnel old players with new players and they can just learn from playing with them. So it's a more organic experience. A lot of people are more hands-on than just a tutorial. Like if you're playing the tutorial, you're not. I don't know. I fucking hate tutorials. Like I rather just play the game and learn as I go. So I feel like a lot of people do that, and this game's already, like, pretty complex because it took the eternal return system. So I think an organic way to learn kind of just puts the pressure on the game itself rather than the old vets and stuff to make guides and stuff like that. Like, obviously guides are good, but the pressure should be more on the game itself to teach people than the people in the community to teach people.
Oh, definitely. But we're just working with what we got here.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good. We've been talking about, we're looking at Steam. Let's look at checking the team charts every day.
Yes, sir.
Somewhat. Yeah.
Honestly, I don't, and that's only because I know you guys do. So.
Yeah. Let's just say it's not good.
Yeah, to be expected, honestly. To essentially backpack off of something I believe Super said earlier, we are kind of very similar to where we left off when we first, took our hiatus. I don't want to say quit, but look, anyone that's listening right now, if you get an inkling of how to get in contact with Line Games directly, you let us know immediately, because we are, again, in a position to legitimately help this game succeed. All we have to do is let them know. We have way too much that could complement this game if they just address the shit that we're talking about. Like, we're not just a bunch of stupid kids who just start complaining because we're getting wrecked by Sasha in the lobby and we want the game balanced so we just win and don't lose. No, like, we're actually backing this up with statistics and facts with how business is run everywhere. And they are ignoring that. So please, if you do find anything, let us know.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's not even a social media presence.
Right.
There's
Like,
not even a website. Like, I can't find anything.
They have nothing. This is the first now, and I'm not saying this to just be like fucking like mean or like negative, but this is the first professional company that I have ever seen in 2021 that has zero social media presence on anything. I don't know. Like, I swear to God, Line Games must be that dude in Korea. Like, they might not even have to say anything that they're doing because people are already up their ass because they're local, right? But usually when companies are starting projects, even indie companies, they fucking are on social media posting YouTube videos. They got trailers. Look at the games on Steam in your discovery queue. They got trailers, pictures, woo, 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 woo. If I type in Royal Crown on Google, guess what the first thing that pops up is? It sure as fuck isn't this game, I tell you that. It's the drink.
Yep.
The alcoholic beverage. Which
made in Canada, by the way.
Right. Which may sound to some people like, oh yeah, well that makes sense. No, that's not how it works, bro. Like, Google's algorithm will automatically pick up on a consistent habit, right? So if you find 3 social media pages with the same, like item that you type in or keywords for you Google adders out there, it will put that in above, even a popularized product, obviously may not be for like paid advertisement, but use my old name as an example, Spoogan, right? In the Urban Dictionary, my name was related to Jizz, even though that had nothing to do with my fucking name. But because I worked my ass off with my brand, no, dead ass. Like, this is why I rebranded, right? So that's what it's related to, right? But because I worked my ass on social media and I kept presence, it cancels that out. So if you type that in, obviously maybe not now because I rebranded everything, but when you would type that in, all my shit would come up and then the shit after. They have no Twitter. They have a YouTube, but they don't fucking use it. They have a Facebook, but they don't fucking use it. They're on Discord. That's cool, but you're supposed to be a company, bro. Why is there zero presence? It doesn't make sense at all.
That's one of the main things why games fail. Neglecting outreach, right? Like devs, they're really making this game for a whole year now, almost a whole year, right? At least in April. And why bother making a game, not gonna tell anybody about it, right?
Yeah, right.
Right now they're banking on Asia, but Asia is even numbers going probably because of the but they need to hire someone that English do the get the marketing out, get the game popping.
I agree.
I feel like they need to funnel their resources into the vision they have the game for the game, like in the end game. So if it's squads, just go all in with squads. Fuck solos, fuck duos, get rid of those modes. Have your team like focus on that stuff and don't stretch them so thin. If they're a small team, like why do you have so many game modes to begin with anyway? Like you need all the help you can get if you're if you're just starting out, right? So it would make sense to expand slowly as the interest in the game picks up. Focus on squads, focus on promotion, focus on like helping your content creators make advertisement for you too, right? Like I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me why they have so much shit.
Fortunate, but yeah, we'll move on to the next topic. Hey, anybody have a request?
Wait, a request for topic or?
Yeah, like a topic for just the state of the game.
Well,
To the good stuff. It's not so negative thing.
While we're waiting on that, I did agree with the inks counter thing too, like having a Q counter, because if you guys come from Ragnarok, so like if you were ever going to the PvP rooms, there was a counter inside, and when we saw the numbers go up high, like people would come to PvP just to have fun, so I know that like it'd be kind of the equivalent with the server.
That'd be good.
I definitely agree.
Anybody in chat? Hold
on. Not sure if the email is legit. Volpes, yeah, we'll check it out after this, see if it's legit.
Lola says in my chat, I see it. Doesn't help that new players come into this game and get called team times for smart decisions instead of
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, there's a fine line. I would love for players to come back. Happen. Okay, so shall we move on to the good stuff? Or do we want to talk about that?
You want to talk about
that? I mean,
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So first of all, there's a lot of gray area. Only in solos. This shit doesn't really happen in duos and squads. But with solos, you are essentially your own team, and you can inadvertently assist another player to killing another player if you deem that they are a bigger threat. I have done this. We all have done this. If there's a Korik and I know there's no way in fuck I can kill Zasha by myself in a 1v1 upright, and he happens to be half health and being chased down by a Spark, you bet your ass I'm gonna be like, hey Spark, I'm gonna go this way and cut him off while you're fucking him up from the back. Now, what a lot of people are doing, which is different than what I just explained, are rolling around as a fucking unit and like actually acting like a legitimate squad, and they're just like not hitting each other, and then they wait until the final zone and then they fight each other. That is teaming. If that's what they're doing, we don't support that shit. But I mean, sometimes you just get put in a position where you gotta fucking fuck somebody else up so you can take the W, which is the inadvertent teaming. But it's totally not the same thing. I've legitimately caught people doing this in some of our events. Even our events back in fucking preseason 2, we was catching individuals trying to like low key do that shit, right? So we understand it happens, and yes, if you're a new player and you come in seeing that shit, that's bad, bro. That's so bad. If I came in the Royal Crown and I seen that shit first game, I'm out. I'm going back on Rocket League, right? I'm like, I ain't got time for this bullshit. You feel me? So teaming is not taken that seriously in squads and duos because it's unlikely, right? Like, it's much harder to team in that already team aspect because if you got 6 people rolling around, you can't be like, we were just waiting for the fight. Like, no, you're running around as a 6-man squad fucking everybody up in the lobby. Like, that's clearly teaming, right? So I'm not sure what else needs to be said, but stop teaming on some pussy shit. The fuck?
Yeah.
But
they're like, we as good players, we fully understand smart decisions that we should make. For example, if we know a raid boss is in the room, that's a huge target on your back already, right? people are gonna want you out right away. As we grow as players, as we learn more about other players, right? That's unfortunate. It will happen. It will happen, right? You will get heat if you're a good player.
Yeah, there's differences.
Yeah, yeah. There are. It's a very fine line, but when accusations start being made, when people start segregating each other in different groups, that's how. Like, there's always gonna be heat in every game, every competitive game, right? But when shots start getting fired, and make the game unenjoyable for people, that's where we should stop. The game being in its state right now, we don't need any of that. We don't need any of that, right? Like, be cordial, keep it to yourself, right? Show it on the battlefield, right? Make adjustments. If you know people are doing this thing, make adjustments. You're a good player, make adjustments.
Yep.
Right?
I'm gonna give one warning. If y'all start name dropping again, I'm just gonna start banning people. I don't
Yeah,
care.
do not name drop. I fucking hate that shit.
Like,
I hate that shit.
This is supposed to be a cordial podcast.
Yeah, you guys
I expect better.
You guys are
do
flaming
not do
like
that
different
here, especially in my
certain
chat.
people. Yeah, that's horrible. Right?
Yeah.
We're doing this for the community, not for one single person. I don't care about. Let me word this properly. Actually, I'm not gonna say that because it might get negative feedback. But
well, just don't bring negativity.
Yeah, just don't bring negativity
that we're trying to be positive about, bro. Like,
right.
What's done is done. It's in the past. Leave it the fuck alone. It doesn't need to get brought up again. Plain and simple. I don't want to hear no names for anything tied to anything moving forward, especially in my chat. This is my domain in my stream. I can ban anybody the fuck I want. I see it happen again. I'm not gonna say shit in the chat. I'm just gonna start. Boop. You out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now let's move forward.
Yeah. Guys.
Chime in if you don't mind,
for sure.
really quick. I just think that we shot ourselves in the foot by behaving the way that we did towards other people because we thought it was unfair or whatever reason. It was the way that we handled the teaming thing was unjustified, and I think we could have handled it much better in a way that like they still wanted to play with us. And in the end, we just killed off a major part of the population, the hype, and it's really, really bad for us to do that. We're already suffering with the population.
Can I play like
That makes sense.
devil's advocate, like the counterpoint here?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because like obviously we what's done is done. We all read it, but I was involved. So
This was prior to him being a mod, by the way. Continue.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna. We're obviously there's no reason to name drop. We're not gonna do any of that. We're past all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I do, to some degree, feel like it is flawed to sit here and view it as if it's like some moral failing on our behalf of the player base, only due to the fact that this is also like an issue that new players face. It is not fun to get into lobbies with people that just already decided before the lobby started that you're not going to win it.
Yeah.
And like, it's not like people that choose to do this have any regards for the player base either. So it's not like we're failing the player base ourselves in this scenario. It is something that people that do this also chose to fail the player base. So looking at it as if it's just us making the incorrect decision here, quote unquote, isn't necessarily right. But I agree. Like, it's got to drop, but I just don't see why you do it. That's all I feel.
And I completely agree. And we've covered this on previous podcasts. I've said it during our events. You know, I know it's a custom lobby. I know if you're friends, you know, you just want to have fun, and this would be your idea of fun. And I'm not against that. But I have to create stipulations moving forward, because in Royals League, we will not be tolerating that type of behavior. Now, again, most of us are adults. I can't control what you do on your free time, bro. I can only hope that you share our vision for what we're trying to do with this community, so we don't keep getting into these situations, right?
I agree. Yeah. No, those are all valid arguments, right? It's totally not our fault, but I don't know how we could have handled that any differently. Maybe the mod should have got more involved, right? But we're doing this all in our free times.
Right.
Trying to.
This is basically my third job, dog.
Yeah. I don't know how we can do it differently, but just so you guys know out there, you know, for us mods, right? I can probably talk for all of us. There's no bad blood. Like I think we just want the game to grow. If they do, you know, if you know that people want to rejoin, come back, you know, we welcome them with open arms. We're open for a discussion, right? About these things. Because I don't want to be grouped. I don't want to be. I don't want to be grouped into a specific group where I'm on, you know, these people's side. I'm very unbiased. I just want the game to grow, right? I just want the game to grow. I'm very open to open discussions and how we can build the game together, right? Together, and not just do it for our own pleasure. So, you good?
Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So good news. Good news. Me and Spoogan were talking. We did a lot of research on this as well. We decided to create a clan. Since we have a clan system, we decided to create a clan to promote improvement of, you know, everybody's game, and also promote squad play, how the game is supposed to be played. Marsh mentioned. And why is this important? Spoogan, you wanna tell us why is this important?
So, firstly, let's go ahead and just look at esports, or just any professional game that has, you know, a professional type of level, right? Usually these games, and Inked, I would like to hear your opinion as well, because you are a esports coach. So I'll come back to you. These games are marketed for team play for two reasons. Number one, no one gives a fuck about what individual people can do. They want to know what you can do on a team of all aspects. Dota, League, Rocket League. You never see solo tournaments, right? You never see solo tournaments with anything. It's always a team-based aspect, right? And currently, what unfortunately we were talking about earlier with the lack of, you know, matchmaking adjustments, is among the marketing aspects. Many people automatically were going under the assumption that people weren't playing squads and people weren't playing duos, when in reality they wanted to, but they were defaulted back to solos because they knew that the queue would pop in 2 to 4 minutes, right? So again, Super, now we definitely want to start this clan up and kind of move in the pivot point direction for focusing on what Royals League will inevitably be about, which is squad play, right? We're going to be having teams. Now, will we host solo tournaments? I suppose we will be, not as frequently, I can tell you that, because again, me personally, I don't really like solos. Like, I love playing squads. But we'll leave it up to like a community vote. Maybe we'll do a couple polls in the near future after the second for the first solo tournament that we're doing.
Real quick here, Spook, thinking ahead on solo tournaments. Would it be, in your mind, something that we would want to do as the mods, or just recruit people who'd be interested in doing it, to have people almost act as pseudo referees in solo tournaments to make sure there isn't deliberate teaming, so there's no people like, oh, I lost money because someone teamed me? Then we could have a team of quote unquote referees say, no, that wasn't deliberate, it was just the state of the game, it's how it played out.
Right. It's a little difficult to say. Like I said, there's a lot of people that fuck with solos. Like, I'm not negating people wanting to play solos. It's just what we want to put forward first for a competitive league. Is there competitiveness in solos? Yes, of course. But is that what we want the focal point to be for Royals League? No, it is not. So obviously it's still going to be open for discussion. Like, nothing is set in stone. We may be saying this now, and then a month later we'll be like, okay, look, this is what it is. The only reason why I'm saying it now is because Super Future, as well as myself, are essentially carrying this entire thing. So we brought in Bike again. Congratulations, Bike, for being the new addition of mods. That's why we're bringing in more mods, so we have more deck, so we can actually start delegating what people may be able to assist with. And if we get more shoutcasters, I won't have all the burden of shoutcasting everything. And if someone wants to step up and shoutcast for the solo tournaments, by all means,
I'd be all over it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so as long as we keep that in mind, then we should be fine. We should definitely be fine. But back to the clan thing, like, we wanted to create something to make people feel not just special for being a part of the community, but being a part of something, right? And Super, I will dish this back to you for the benefits from what our vision is actually going and why we want to do this.
Sorry, I was distracted by the chat. Guys, you guys need to stop.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Oh,
you guys just need to stop.
Cut this shit right now. I promise you. You know what? Go ahead, Super. Continue.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a little distracted. Again, like I said, we want the game full, fun for everybody, right? Show your shit in the battlefield. Get better. That's how you get better. When there's friction, people get better. That's how you get better, right?
Yep.
So yeah, cut that shit out.
Please.
Just fucking play the game.
Leave it alone. Positive vibes only. If you ain't trying to be on that wave, then get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now.
Okay,
I don't want that shit in here.
Guys, just stop it. Anyways, why? Okay, we kind I got distracted there. What was the question?
Why we are looking to start the clan for exclusivity benefits.
Right. We're just looking for a group of people, solid people, to kind of drive the community forward, right? Me, Spoogan, the mods can't do it alone, right? We're looking for people that just enjoy the game, aren't toxic but competitive, and just want to improve their game, right? We're gonna showcase not just the people in the clan and their guides and whatever, if you want all that, shit, right? On Royals League, but we want to show the game how it's actually meant to be played and how hype it can be, right? At first, we understand that, it may be a little try hard, right? There might be a mixture of kind of pro player, like not pro, but like, really good players mechanically, and newer players, right? But as we start playing together, we will get better. We will get better. There will be better content. We'll get used to other people in the community, right? We don't want to just like separate people. Right? It's open to everybody, but we are going to be selective in choosing people, right? That actually want this game to grow, succeed.
Yeah, and to reiterate on being selective, that does not mean being biased. Like, we're going to have a template to what it is that we're looking for, like any other fucking thing in life. If you know there's a position for a job, you know, even if you meet all the marks, it's also about your personality and whether or not you're going to be a great addition to what we're trying to do. But we do encourage everyone, you know, that would be possibly interested in something like this, do not hesitate to step forward.
Yeah, and I've been looking at the stats too on Royals League, and people love guides. People love guides, and we need more of it, right? Bike mentioned that, you know, a lot of new players coming in have no idea what to effing do, right? We need people, we need content creators to help with that, right? Like Inked has been very good. He posted his Spark video, which is now on the website. You can check it out. Inked, I posted it on there. I don't know if you knew, but it's there. It's there. More things are coming this week, right? We're pushing to create guides for people because that's the most thing that's clicked right now on the website, and it's over 100 clicks, guys. That's a lot.
Website dropped 2 days ago, by the way.
Yeah, website dropped like a few days ago. It's insane. So we need that. We're bringing that, and I hope people get excited. The VODs as well that we're gonna be making hope it gets people excited, right? And we hope to run these scrims consistently, right? And there'll be structured scrims, like to help improve everybody's game, not just try hard, you know, pick one character and just play that, right? They're gonna be structured. There'll be themes, how to improve your game, teamwork as well. It's gonna be very community and team based, right? It's gonna be all random, and yeah, we're looking for people. Please send me a message, right? Again, the door is open to anybody, not just people currently in community, right? People that are interested in that kind of thing. We're looking for coaches. We're looking for people that love data and doing that type of thing. Shoutcasters, even, right? People that just love the game and want to help. We're looking.
Shoutcasters, don't sleep.
Yeah.
Holla at your boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die if I do this solo the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we're doing. What we're doing as a community, a clan, to help drive things forward, right? To get people excited. But that's only so much we can do. Okay, we're gonna talk about when the scrims are with plan. There's a special channel that I made today for it, and we're gonna be discussing when we want the scrims, when we can create content, all that stuff. And so yeah, the call to action here is, don't be afraid, don't doubt, like, why, like, don't doubt yourself. Send me a message, and you can add, if you can add anything. You don't have to participate in all the scrims, right? Like, we hope to have more than 30 players kind of subbing in and what. But like, if you want to help, send me a message, and then we'll chat, right? We have about 12 people right now. I've been reaching out to people as well. Yeah, I have about 12 people right now, looking for more. I'll be reaching out to more people, by the way. And yeah, I think 3 on standby because they don't know their schedules yet. So yeah, that's with the clan recruitment. Even though it's a clan, right? If you decide to make a team that wants to play with us, right? Let's fucking do it. Let's fucking do it, right? Let's experiment. Let's experiment. It'll be great, right?
Shout out to Ogami for the EU.
Yeah.
Shoutcast, by the way.
Absolutely. And with Royals League being out now, I would love your guys' feedback. Right, there's actually a button at the bottom of the website that says feedback. If you have any feedback, feel free to send me an email through that, and I would love to hear it. Okay, we're always trying to improve the website, what it is. So yeah.
Let's talk about the solo versus squad scrim nights. And then the upcoming tournaments as well, real quick.
Okay.
based solely off of statistics of this last week or so, we were attempting to, host daily, custom lobbies for everyone to, kind of get down on. But unfortunately, with a lot of the issues that we already spoke about at the beginning of the podcast, this is essentially turning people off from, participating in even that of our custom lobbies. So we will be moving in the direction to make it feel more like a commodity, to allow people to have something to look forward to. So we were thinking, instead of doing every day solo scrims, we're just gonna have one day solo scrims and then a different day squad scrims, right? Ideally, we will want these to happen during the week, as the tournaments will likely happen on the weekend, so there won't ever be overlap for that. However, I think Thursdays have to be open for the option of the podcast, because during weeks of tournaments, like for example next week, the podcast will not be on Saturday, it will be on Thursday, because we will be having the solo tournament go on Saturday, right? Just so we're not too jam-packed on something like that.
Can we get a number count on how many people have signed up for that solo tournament?
15.
15.
15, awesome.
Please sign up.
6 teams for squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please sign up.
Did you say 16 for squads?
6 teams.
Oh, 6 teams. Wow. That's crazy. That's so good.
Getting up there. But
Up there.
definitely, we will be moving to 2 days likely. Either myself or Super Future will be putting up a poll as for which days. And then depending on what we, have, what the community wants to see, we'll probably roll that out, this upcoming week, and then we'll, try it out and see how it goes and see if we need to make adjustments, if need be. Segueing over to the official tournament dates, Super.
The official tournament dates starts next weekend for solos, right? April 2nd to April 3rd. Depending on how many people there are, I don't know if we should do 2 days. Right? If we just should just.
It will depend on how many bodies we get, right?
Yeah,
like
it
if
depends
we're
on how many
struggling to
bodies.
get like 10, then it will not be on Saturday.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
But regardless, the podcast will happen on Thursday, because obviously we won't know what the turnout's going to be like until the following day. So.
And then the squad tournament will be end of season, so April 16 to 17, right? Depending on how many teams we get as well. We decide whether it just be 1 day or 2 days, right? EU teams are welcome, well, right? Not just for NA.
Correct.
So yeah, those are the days. We have a banner coming for that. Well,
Shout out,
we just been super busy to get these things done, but it's coming. It's coming. Like I said, we're doing this on our free times, so
yeah. Again, shout out Marsh for he's gonna be putting together that banner, and he also put together my new logo. It is so good, fantastic. But that concludes the topic list that we have. If you guys have anything that you wanna touch on, now would be the time to populate that in chat. Gentlemen on the panel, do we have any thoughts that we want to bring up while we're waiting for chat to type some stuff? Anything at all. Could be bugs that happening, anything.
I don't have any that come to mind right now.
Inked?
Nothing I can really think. It's just expressing the excitement for these leagues to start, and for the players that are interested in the game to continue to be a part of what we're doing here and make this even bigger than it already is.
Okay. Bike?
Pretty much the same. I'm pretty good on topics.
Okay. Anyone in chat, if you have a topic that you want to touch on, now would be the time. Because if not, we will likely conclude today's podcast. I'll give it a couple minutes. Let me try to think if there's anything. Is there anything I wanted to touch on? We covered a lot of shit today, actually.
yeah, it's been about an hour. We talk about a lot of stuff, a lot of touchy subjects that we talk about as well, right?
Yeah, very much so.
Like emotions are involved, egos are involved, But at the end of the day, guys, it's a game. It's solo lobbies. There's no money even on the line yet, right? There's no need for any of that shit. And think about like what the late Kobe Bryant is like, right? Like, fuck, if you know, you send 2 guys, you know, what was that Kobe Bryant quote? Like, they shouldn't even send 2 guys. They should send a whole team against that person. Like, get that good. Get that good. If people are teaming on you, 2 people, get so good that you know they need to send 5 people, right?
Take it as a compliment.
Like, take it as a compliment.
There's always gonna be one dude that
in a battle royale game, smart players will always, you know, try to take out the most threatening person in the game. Threatening person in the game. Like, yeah, we have that, you know, that friend aspect, right? We want to see our homies win, whatever. That's something we can't do because subconsciously, like, we're gonna be playing with our friends because we love playing with our friends, stuff like that. That's just solos though. Once we get squads going, that'll be different. Right? We're trying to showcase squads now. Let's forget about solos. Let's forget about the drama. Move on from it, right? And just welcome everybody to the game.
That doesn't mean, you know, people aren't gonna, you know, want to talk a little bit of shit. Like, that's gonna happen. Like, if people are competitive, someone's gonna say something. But there's a line, okay? There's a line. Don't cross that line, and everything will be good, right? Keep it in the field and don't break it to the personal level. But since there's no questions in chat, I guess we will go ahead and conclude tonight's podcast. I do appreciate everyone that's tuned in thus far. Thank you, everyone on the panel: Super Future, Bite Kicker, Marshed, and Inked. Definitely be sure to check out Super Future stream, Ink stream, as well as Marsh whenever he goes live. Bite Kicker, I don't know if you stream, but if you got anything you want to plug right now, feel free to do so. Yeah, I do appreciate it for you taking the time to join me tonight, gentlemen. And I'm gonna do the damn thing, as you're well aware.
Thank you for having us, Boo and Super Future.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
All right, I'll get at y'all in a bit.
Alright, guys, we're gonna quickly reset the stream so the VOD saves and stuff like that, and then we'll get some games in. So just give me a second. I'm gonna get that shit done.